Still a delay.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Ron Taylor. President Trump hopes the U.S.
Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, there's a big delay. There's like a 2-minute delay.
It's going to be very traumatic.
That sucks. There's like a 2-minute delay. That sucks.
President held White House talks with Israeli
Delays are
Prime
getting
Minister
worse.
Netanyahu this past week and said he had insisted to the Prime Minister that negotiations with Iran
I don't
needed to continue.
remember what they did the last time
Julie Walker
to fix it. They did something to fix it. I don't remember what it was.
Jeffrey's disappearance and the search for clues.
A lot of activity from the FBI and the Pima County.
The engineer has to come
in
and
official updates in the search
fix
for
it
Nancy Guthrie.
at some point.
Friday night, law enforcement blocking off a road 2 miles from the Arizona home of the missing mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. A parade of official vehicles, including forensics, coming and going, even towing a Range Rover from a nearby Culver's restaurant. Guthrie was last seen January 31st when she was dropped at home by family. Meanwhile, authorities continue searching for her. I'm Julie Walker.
The military says it's carried out another deadly strike on a vessel accused of trafficking drugs in the Caribbean. U.S. Southern Command said Friday on social media that the boat was transiting along known narco-trafficking routes in the Caribbean and was engaged in narco-trafficking operations. The strike killed 3 people. Friday's attack raises the death toll from the Trump administration's strikes on drug boats to 133 people, and at least 38 attacks carried out since early September in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific Ocean as well. You'll find breaking news, analysis, and more at townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor reporting.
In today's fast-paced world, professionals face endless projects, deadlines, competition. To thrive, you need mental clarity, sharp focus, and reliable memory. That's why the same company that brings you Relief Factor created Think Factor. Think Factor is designed to help you think clearer and perform better daily. It's a powerful blend of nutrients that supercharges your memory and sharpens your focus. You can stay on top of your work and outshine the competition. After a couple of weeks of taking Think Factor, I noticed a dramatic difference in my clarity, my focus, even my memory. And you know what? The longer you take Think Factor, the better the results are. If you've ever felt mentally foggy or struggled to keep up with everything on your plate, well, Think Factor can help you reclaim your cognitive edge and thrive in your life. Call 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF, or visit relieffactor.com to order Think Factor. Call 800-4RELIEF or visit relieffactor.com. Your first bottle just $19.95.
It's pretty obvious what AI is on some of these videos. It's too obvious.
The rising cost of coffee
Yeah.
for
Some of them, yes.
brew, while others
But AI is getting good.
keep drinking anyway.
For years, Chandra Donaldson of D.C. drank a daily cup of McDonald's coffee with 10 sugars and 5 creams. Later, it was Starbucks Caramel Macchiato. Dismayed by rising prices, she gave it up. Years of steadily climbing coffee prices have some Nixon cafe visits, switching to cheaper brews or foregoing it altogether. Others keep drinking, but grumble over coffee prices, which in the U.S. were up over 18% in January from a year ago, according to government data. I'm Julie Walker.
Lindsey Vaughn says the latest surgery on her left leg that she broke in the Olympic downhill went well, and now she'll be able to finally go back to the U.S. The 41-year-old Vaughn is being treated at a hospital in Treviso, Italy. She crashed 13 seconds into her run during Sunday's race and was airlifted off the course by helicopter.
Yeah, very serious injury she got.
Jordan Stoltz has won his second speed skating gold medal at the Milan Olympics.
What are you, red mic today?
Stoltz picked up
Good
gold
Mike.
number 2 by
Good
finishing
Mike.
first in the 500 meters, his second race of the winter game, and he pulled it off in an Olympic record time. The 21-year-old from Wisconsin was coming off a victory in Wednesday's 1,000 meters, first of his 4 scheduled individual events in Milan. He's considered a contender for gold in each of those events. His next race is the men's 1,500 on Thursday. Bob Agnew reporting.
Stock steadied after an encouraging update on inflation, helping calm a Wall Street that's been racked by worries about how AI may upend the business world. The S&P 500 barely budged Friday, a day after it had tumbled to one of the worst losses since Thanksgiving. The Dow rose 0.1%, the Nasdaq fell 0.2% on the trading with the closing bell on Friday. More on these stories at townhall.com. I'm Ron Tate.
The opinions expressed on this program are
Okay,
those of the
I'm
host
just-
and do
I'm
not
gonna read
express the views of WPDF ownership.
Are open.
Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
2, 7, 8, 10. 270. There we go. There we go.
Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review.
Alright,
Your host, Joey
good.
Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Anthony Tony Lopes, 79, of Taunton, Massachusetts, passed away unexpectedly on January 13th after a brief illness. Born on March 22nd, 1946, in Taunton, Tony was a proud, lifelong resident whose voice, spirit, and dedication enriched his community. Tony shared 56 years of marriage with his beloved wife, Nancy Lopes. He was the devoted father of Chris Lopes and his wife, Vicky, of Taunton, and Alyssa Porter and her husband, John, of Plainville. He was the proud grandfather of Thomas, Alba, Nathan, and Aria, and leaves behind many nieces and nephews and cousins. He is predeceased by his brothers Alfred, Albert, James, and his sister Mary Eleanor. Above else, Tony's greatest joy was his family. He delighted in spending time with his children and grandchildren, cheering them on at countless games and sharing in their accomplishments with pride and love. Tony was best known as the voice of Taunton Radio. Beginning in 1991, he hosted Hometown Talk Radio, first as a co-owner of WPEP 1570 AM, and later as general manager of WVBF 1530 AM in Taunton and in Middleboro. His program gained national recognition, featuring interviews with movie stars, presidential candidates, governors, senators, and congressmen. His passion for broadcasting was matched by his love of history, which he often shared with listeners and community members alike. In 2008, Tony was honored as the Prince Henry Society's Portuguese American Man of the Year, a recognition he accepted in memory of his parents, Mary and Antone Lopes, who immigrated from the Azores. Tony devoted decades to youth sports in Taunton. He served the Taunton Western Little League for 30 years as a coach, manager, and league president, leading the effort to build the Taunton Western Little League complex. He also founded and coached the Weir Tigers junior football team and served as coach and president of the Taunton Area Babe Ruth League. He was a high school, Little League, and softball umpire for 25 years and served as director of youth activities at the CYO. His dedication earned him the Marion Medal for outstanding social work and leadership. In retirement, Tony embraced his love of travel, spending winters in Bradenton, Florida, where he enjoyed the warmth, friendships, and countless games of bridge at the clubhouse. He was happiest surrounded by friends and family, whether at the card table or cheering from the sidelines. Tony was the biggest fan of his grandchildren's sports teams, spending spring, summer, and fall evenings at softball, baseball, and soccer fields, proudly supporting them from the stands. A lifelong sports enthusiast, he was also an avid fan of the Boston Red Sox, New England Patriots, and Navy athletics. Tony was a longtime member of the Elks Lodge 150, the Portuguese American Civic Club, the PACC, and the Prince Henry Society, where he built lasting friendships and contributed to the civic life of Taunton. Tony will be remembered for his booming voice on the radio, his tireless work to support young athletes, his devotion to family, and his pride in his heritage. His legacy lives on in the community he served, and most importantly, in the love he gave to his children and grandchildren. A memorial mass will be held at St. Jude, the Apostle Parish in Taunton on March 6th, 2026 at 10 a.m. A luncheon to follow for family and friends at the Chateau in Norton. Tony was very, very important to me. Very, very important. I got my start here in July of 2017. I met him right around that time as well. And I started on the weekends here on WVBF. He was very, very important to me when it comes to starting Middleboro in review as well. He, gave me the okay to start my own show and helped me along with that as well. Taught me a lot of things when it comes to recording commercials as well, which I do quite a bit here on WVBF. He was really important to me, and I'm going to miss him, and going to switch the mic over to Don for a couple of words as well.
I remember when I first met Tony, it was in Middleboro, Sana. They had the, what do they call it, the summer days, when they have, or whatever they called it, right? Crazy Days.
Crazy Days.
And there was a WVBF tent, and Joey was working for MatCam at the time, getting B-roll, interviewing the different businesses for MatCam. And we bumped into him, they're in the tent, and we're talking, and he says, you can come by for the dime tour. So great, right? So we came over, and we checked it out. He gave us a little tour of the Broadway studios, which was one room, and we talked. And I could tell on Joey's face that he was just so intrigued with everything Tony had to say. And Tony really looked out for Joey like he was his own. And I loved him so much for what he did for my son. And I'm thanking Steve Callahan, I'm thanking Mark Pacheco, I'm thanking everybody, Chris Keach, everybody who helped him to master his craft in this business. And it's funny too, because in the fall you helped Tony with a few political commercials.
And that was not just this past fall, but many different times during the years as well. I was kind of the person who really helped him with those. Doing the commercials, making sure all the candidates were good with the commercials, and that was fun. That was a good experience as well, and he taught me a lot with that.
You were always there to help him.
It was a good experience.
Anything you needed, you were here. You ran the board for his
Absolutely.
last show the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I was here too. I was sitting by. I had the honor of seeing Tony's last show. I mean, I wish it wasn't. I wish, but he was a big staple in our lives, Joey and I's, and he was such a good man. I remember the last time I seen Tony, I was at his house, and he was in his chair, hanging out with the blanket over him, and he was watching the Army-Navy game. So, I mean, there's a sports forum, we're talking, and he had Nancy, his wife, was there, sitting in the chair next to him, and surrounded by I think he had 2 grandchildren in there at the time. The other one might have been upstairs. His son, Chris great man. I really, me and Chris really hit it off, and he just reminds you so much of Tony. Great family, beautiful family, and he taught me a lot. He taught you a lot. And I remember the first time you did Middleboro in Review on, what was that, April 19th, 2019.
April 7th.
Oh, April 7th, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I wanted to jump in so much, but I asked him, like, a couple days after the show, I said, can I jump in and be co-host? He said, absolutely, in the Tony Love's voice. Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So since then, Joey and I have been a father-son team on Sunday mornings on WBBF here in the Taunton area. 6 years now, 7 years.
It's gonna be 7 years in April.
Yeah, 7 years in April, and we've had a lot of good people too. But I think we both learned a lot from Tony.
Absolutely.
Both learned a lot from
Absolutely.
Tony. Tony was a pioneer in talk radio, in my opinion. I learned so much, and he always had a smile on his face, and he always put a smile on my face, and that was real important to, because life's too short not to have a smile on your face, I guess, And one other thing too, I remember you were doing a commercial, and it was the first time you did a commercial. It was over at the Broadway Studios.
Yes.
And he says, well, just try it. And if you mess up, we'll just do it again. Remember when he said that?
Yeah, I mean, it was really reassuring words.
Well, it was
That
it was
calmed me down a lot.
it was the teacher on him. It was did calm him down. And
It calmed me down.
And you did it, and it was your first commercial shot, and you did a good job.
Yeah.
And I think he was impressed how quick you picked up, and then you've been a big help to everybody here too, helping out with the commercials and stuff. And you were always there for him. He always, every time he asked you, you were there. You were there for him. And he was always there for you. So that was a great friendship. I think we all had together. And I'm gonna miss you, Tony. I really am. And he's watching over. And it's funny too, because how ironic on his the celebration of life he's having on March 6th.
Yes.
Guess where Joey's gonna be?
I'll be here.
He'll be here.
I'll be
Someone
here.
has to man the radio station, and Tony's gonna be looking down from heaven, going, "You did a good job, kid. Keep it up. We passed the torch on to another generation to keep things going." And it's just, and that's someone has to man the radio station, and that would have been important to him.
508-822-1106 is the phone number if you want to call in this morning. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we are going to start Middleboro Review. And we're going to do our normal stuff, Middleboro Review, normal stuff, our weather, our today in histories, our birthdays, and stuff like that. We have a good show planned for you. This weekend is Daytona 500 weekend. We'll talk a little bit about it. Surprising name is First. We'll start the race first this year, which is interesting. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some local stuff as well. We got some local news to talk about. Got a lot of the local things going on.
You know what? Something you mentioned yesterday.
Yes, go ahead.
Is that $70,000 rug in Rhode Island? It had the wrong seal on it. Really?
Ridiculous.
Someone didn't get the memo. That's just communication. Zero. I don't know communication on that department.
508-822-1106 is the number to call in if you want to call in this morning. And we'll be right back.
You know what it looked like to me? It looked like the old seal.
Old seal?
They might have changed it.
Probably what it was. That's crazy.
No, they should leave it then. What do you say?
They covered it with a couple of Ocean
lot.
State job lot rugs.
That's what they should have out with to begin with. They're an Ocean State job lot, buy local, right?
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. It's a story that's just so ridiculous. One more commercial. This one, 6.
Send your community announcements to WVBF1530@hotmail.com. That's WVBF1530@hotmail.com. Thank you for listening. Your hometown radio station is AM 1530, WVBF and 99.7 FM.
Here's a winter driving safety reminder. Before you hit the road, take a few extra minutes to clear all snow and ice from your vehicle, especially the roof, hood, lights, and windows. Snow left on your roof can slide onto your windshield or fly off and endanger other drivers. Make sure your windshield is fully defrosted so you have a clear
Oh, yeah, they have a law for that in
taillights and mirrors
New Hampshire.
so others can see you.
What's
a
up?
few minutes of prep
The ice on the-
They have a law here, too?
They have a law. It's named New Hampshire. It's Jessica's Law?
Yeah. No, not just.
Is it Jessica's Law? What is it called? Jessica's Law? Something starts with a J. Almost certain. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I did a thing on it in college for one of my classes. I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. It's escaping me. I'll think about it. I'll probably remember it later. Okay, we're back here on Middleboro in Review on WVBF 1530 AM 99.7 FM. 508-822-1106 is the number to call in if you are wanting to call in this morning. We are going to do our Today in History's birthdays, stuff like that here, and our weather. We'll start today. Let's switch it up a little bit. We'll start today with our Today in Histories. So, our Today in Histories for today, February 15th, 2026, is as follows. February 15th, 1862, American Civil War. Confederates commanded by Brigadier General John B. Floyd attack Ulysses S. Grant's Union forces besieging Fort Donelson in Tennessee. Unable to break the fort's encirclement, the Confederates surrender the next day. 1879, women's rights. U.S. President Rutherford B. Hayes signs a bill allowing female attorneys to argue cases before the Supreme Court of the United States. 1933, in Miami, Giuseppe Zangara attempts to assassinate U.S. President-elect Franklin D. Roosevelt, but instead shoots Chicago Mayor Anton J. Cermak, who dies of his wounds on March 6th. 1942, during World War II, the fall of Singapore. Following an assault by Japanese forces, the British General Arthur Percival surrenders. About 80,000 Indian, United Kingdom, and Australian soldiers become prisoners of war. That's the largest surrender of British-led military personnel in history. On this day in 1992, serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer is sentenced in Milwaukee to 15 terms of life in prison. Our birthdays today, 1564, Galileo Galilei, an Italian astronomer, physicist, and mathematician. 1820, born on this day in 1820, Susan B. Anthony, American suffragist and activist. 1892, James Forrestal, American lieutenant and politician. He was the first United States Secretary of Defense. First ever one. 1907, Cesar Romero. Cesar Romero, best known for Don.
He was the Joker
He was the
in
first,
Batman, the first Joker in
He was the
Batman,
first-
correct?
Yes, the first one.
Yes.
Yes. I think he was pretty good as Joker. Obviously, I prefer Heath Ledger. I prefer
Well,
Joaquin
okay,
Phoenix.
all right. The
But this
first
is
Bat-
a different era.
The first Batman was like geared to children,
Yes.
rated G.
Geared to children.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, Saturday mornings or 4 in the afternoon. So I mean, Heath Ledger. I mean that's a whole new development. That's a sick
Not
psychopath.
Not
Absolutely
geared to all.
bonkers.
Same thing with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Not geared to children at all.
No, that whole thing was it was a children's program, and the adults took it over
Yeah.
and turned it into a psychotic situation.
Kind of made it better. Kind of made it better.
But if you're a kid, it's not bad.
if you're a kid, it's not
You're
great.
gonna be crying.
You know?
You're gonna be having nightmares and stuff. Right? All right. What happened to Scooby Doo? What happened to the pure? Everything has to be sick and twisted.
Scooby Doo is no longer as good as it used to be. Yeah,
Is Scooby Doo still going on?
I think so.
No, it ain't.
There's new series out there.
You
Yes,
didn't do your Scooby Doo research.
there is new series out there.
There is.
Yes,
Cartoon?
there is. Yes,
It's you know what? It's funny because the voices.
it's not like it used to be though.
If you don't have the voices, it's not right in your head. Like the Flintstones, the first they had the voices, and you could have Wilbur, you could hear him. But I mean, when they changed the voices, it's
John
just-
Goodman did a good job in the live.
John
action
Goodman
film.
was awesome. I love John Goodman. Everything he does.
Yeah.
I love
Pretty
him.
good in that.
I love John Goodman. John Goodman is, in my opinion, never did a bad role. In my opinion.
Yeah. So, all right. 1920. Born on this day in 1920. Endicott Peabody, American soldier, lawyer, politician. He was the 62nd governor of the state of Massachusetts. 1922. John B. Anderson, Swedish American lawyer and politician. Don, he ran for president in what year?
What?
John B. Anderson, he ran for president as a third party candidate in what year?
I don't know.
1980.
Oh,
1980.
that's good.
He wasn't going to win, obviously.
Uh,
that was Reagan. That was going to win that one.
yeah.
But he did. He ran in 1980. 1959. Joseph R. Ganascoli. Soprano fans, you know who that is?
That's
Vito.
Vito. Yeah, Vito.
Vito from The Sopranos.
He plays in another program now. He plays in what is it? It's the cop show with Blue Bloods.
He was in Blue Bloods?
He's a character in Blue Bloods, or a spinoff of it.
Oh, okay, I thought.
And there's a new spinoff of
was,
Blue Bloods too, with, for Donnie Wahlberg's in it, and he's a Boston cop now. He gets transferred over.
I thought that was it was Bobby Bacala that was the person who is now on Blue Bloods.
No,
Yeah, Bobby Bacala
that's
from
him.
The Sopranos.
Yeah, that's him.
No. It's,
Oh, you're talking Vito.
no,
Yeah.
different character.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm forgetting the
Oh.
name
S-
of the actor.
Joseph,
Steve Shrippa.
Steve
Steve
Shrippa,
Shrippa
yeah.
was in Blue Bloods.
yes. Okay.
Vito, maybe he was in Blue Bloods. I don't know.
No, I've seen Vito, that character, in other movies as a character actor before The Sopranos.
Mm-hmm. He was good in The Sopranos, and so was Steve Shrippa, by the way, also good in The Sopranos. Born on this day in 1964, Chris Farley, American comedian and actor. Passing away on this day in 1933, Pat Sullivan, Australian animator and producer. He co-created Felix the Cat. Felix the Cat became pretty popular. It was in the newspaper comics for a long time as well. I don't probably not there anymore, but used to be for quite a while. That Felix the Cat would be in newspaper comics. And passing Wednesday, 1965, Nat King Cole, American singer and pianist. All right, it is 7:32 a.m. When we come back from our news break, we will be doing the weather, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the program, which is some local news, and if we have time, maybe we'll do a little bit of transportation. But I want to get to some sports today. We'll be right back.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Michael Harris. Republican Senator Susan Collins is officially running for re-election in Maine. Here's correspondent Greg Cluxton.
The 73-year-old Collins is seeking a sixth term, and her bid for re-election faces a challenge from both sides of the aisle. She is a Republican, but has remained in office despite Maine becoming increasingly blue. There's a renewed Democratic effort to oust her in a race that could determine control of the U.S. Senate. Collins often clashes with President Trump, including on the issue of military force.
I think
after her vote,
is that the Chris Pappas race? I think
opposed him should never be elected.
Is Chris Pappas New Hampshire actually?
Washington.
I don't know, but
The latest congressional budget
there's
forecast on data
there is some people that are trying to run
plenty scary.
there in Maine to unseat her, but
Which
I think she's
should
going to win
have seen
re-election.
before. The correspondent Ken Lorman says there's more to the numbers than meet the eye.
The CBO expects debt as a share of the GDP to catapult to all-time highs. But economist Steve Moore with the Unleashed Prosperity Hotline points out that the forecast
Still cold.
is an annual economic growth rate of about 1.8% for the next few decades. That is only slightly more than half the yearly U.S. growth for the past 100 years.
Yep.
CBO predicts
Cool.
2% growth last year, and yet the last 3 quarters were twice that high.
Conservative economists predict 3% growth will bend the curve down, and 3.5% growth will allow the U.S. to pay off the debt in 30 years. The International Space Station is back to full strength with the arrival of 4 new astronauts. SpaceX delivered the U.S. and Russian astronauts to the orbiting lab yesterday. After launching them, they replaced the crew that failed early last month because of health concerns. NASA's first medical evacuation in 65 years. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Whether you're preparing for exams, juggling family and career, or just looking to stay sharp as you age, Think Factor is here to help. Created by the same company that makes Relief Factor, Think Factor supports sharper focus, stronger recall, and clearer thinking. It's the natural way to give your brain the daily nutrients it needs for memory, attention, and even vibrant vision. Call 800-4-RELIEF. 800, the number 4-RELIEF, or visit relief.com to learn more. Look, I was a little bit skeptical. I started taking Think Factor. After a few weeks, wow, my memory, my focus, my concentration, better than ever. And Think Factor results get better the longer it's taken. If you want to stay focused during demanding tasks, keep your memory strong, maintain mental energy for whatever. 4-RELIEF, 800, the number 4-RELIEF, or visit relieffactor.com to learn more. Your first bottle is just $19.95. Think Factor. Think clearer, perform better daily. Call 800-4-RELIEF or visit relieffactor.com for Think Factor.
About 250,000 people have demonstrated against Iran's government on the sidelines of a gathering of world leaders in Germany. Giant protest in Munich yesterday answered a call from Iran's exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi for cranked-up international pressure on Tehran. Speaking from the sidelines of a security conference in Munich, Prince warned of more deaths in Iran as, quote, democracies stand by and watch in the wake of Tehran's deadly crackdown on protesters in January. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky has thanked his international allies for their support, but suggested there were still questions remaining over the future security guarantees for his country. Speaking to reporters at the Munich Security Conference in Germany, Zelensky repeatedly thanked
AOC went to
Americans and
Munich,
Europeans for their
started
support,
talking,
said he was surprised that Moscow
started talking
had replaced
international
the head of
affairs,
their
and she's
delegation
fucking
right
so
before.
stupid. She's
Views
such a
and
dumb woman.
analysis at townhall.com. I'm Michael.
I'm not a fan of AOC.
She's dumb. She's absolutely, she
Wendy's
go back to
is
school.
closing several hundred U.S. restaurants and increasing its
There's
focus
no
on
shit.
value after a weaker than expected fourth quarter.
The Dublin, Ohio-based company said that its global same-store sales fell 10%
man.
the October-December period. That was more than Wall Street was expecting. Wendy's said it already closed 28 underperforming U.S. restaurants in the fourth quarter and plans to close between 298 and 358 more.
They need
in the first
to
half of the
throw away
year.
the
McDonald's
AI ordering garbage.
Wendy's also plans to emphasize value as it tries to win back cost-weary customers.
Correspondent Ron.
That's, that's not the only time you're gonna see AI ordering at these fast food places. I mean, Wendy's was the first one to do it. You're gonna see that at McDonald's, you're gonna see that at Burger King, you're gonna see that everywhere.
The thing is, you mess up on your order and it just goes to an associate.
Yeah.
And they say it's screwing up all the time.
Well, yeah, it's in its early stages. Eventually, AI is gonna get good with that, and you're not gonna have any of these issues. And then there goes the jobs because they'll start laying off workers. So that's why I don't really care.
Well,
for
no,
AI
because
too much.
now that person who's taking the order can just work on putting the food together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but people will still lose their jobs.
Oh.
People who will are only doing the drive-through orders.
No, people they're working and they all got headsets. They could lose all their headsets and they can concentrate on making the food. The person on the thing is
Yeah, but they hire a couple people for those.
no, they don't. They do everything. They all get headsets on, Joey. So you don't know who's gonna take the order. They got 4 people to take orders and they're working.
Mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairforwarriors.org.
Matthew Mission Food Pantry helps people with food insecurities from the hardships of life. In a few short years, they have given more than 4,000 bags of groceries to those in need at the north door of the First Parish Church, 76 Church Green, and are available to anyone, no questions asked. The demand increases every week. Please consider a donation of unexpired, non-perishable food items, grocery store gift cards, or a monetary donation via check to the Matthew Mission Food Pantry, 76 Church Green, Taunton, or by Venmo at Matthew Mission Food Pantry. The Matthew Mission Inc. is a registered 501c3 organization. Thank you.
The Matthew Mission Food Pantry is now open the second and fourth Saturdays of the month at 76 Church Green in Taunton.
I'm back. All right, coming back to the program. And we're back. So turn down the bumper music. There we go. 508-822-1106 is the number to call if you want to call in and talk what was on your mind this morning. We got 20 minutes left in the program, so we have plenty of time for your phone calls. 508-822-1106 is the number. Real quick, our weather. 22 degrees in Taunton. Very cold outside. Wind gusts are making it feel cooler. Again, the wind gusts, the wind chill. It's winter for you. The wind is, it lets down for a little bit and then it comes right back. The wind, so it stinks, unfortunately. But Hopefully we get some warm days this week. It looks like we'll be warming up a little bit here during some parts of the week as well. So, that's something to look forward to. Not a lot of, doesn't look like there's a lot of sun though, unfortunately, with the warmer temperatures. Which again, another thing you should expect in New England during the winter. When it gets warmer, it tends to either rain or be cloudy. No sun. You rarely get any sun with a warm day in the winter here in New England. I don't understand, but that's what happens. 22 degrees right now in Taunton, 33 for the high today, 16 for the low tonight. Again, the wind is making it feel a little bit cooler out there. 39 tomorrow, a low of 22 and cloudy skies. Cloudy skies all week. We do have a chance of some rain in the second half of the week. Plus 50% chances of rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. With temperatures in the low 40s to upper 30s. So not a lot of chances for snow, which is a good thing, but there seems to be a lot of chances for rain. In Middleboro, 22 degrees, high of 34, low of 18. Again, wind gusts are up to 14 miles per hour, so that's making you feel cooler out there. 39 tomorrow, 23 for the low tomorrow night. Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow, and then the clouds come in and the rain potentially comes in as well for Middleborough. Driscoll, Texas, 56 degrees, high of 80 today, low of 56. And still you got the cooler nights, and that's going to be for a little bit longer, and then you're going to get into the mid-60s for the cooler temperatures at night. You might even get into 90 Driscoll, Texas. Anyone listening in that area, the Corpus Christi area, you might even get into 90 in February, which is amazing because a couple of weeks ago we were talking about it being 20. So it turns right around. Driscoll, North Dakota. Driscoll, North Dakota this year, I haven't really reported on any really crazy temperatures in Driscoll, North Dakota.
It was 14 below a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, but usually I would say that more than one or two times. I would say that like 10 times. I haven't said it 10 times. The negative temperatures.
Well, the night is young, Joey.
Yeah, exactly. It's still February.
It's still February.
29 degrees right now in Driscoll, North Dakota. High of 48, low of 28. And not really a great week. A lot of clouds and rain. Holiday, Florida. 62 degrees right now. A high of 77, a low of 61. Cloudy throughout the day. Rain possible tonight as well, with some actually thunderstorms possible. Wind gusts up to 14 miles per hour, so it's making it feel a little cooler there. 67 for the high tomorrow, 56 for the low, and 50% chance of rain. And then the sun returns for the majority of the week after that. All right, 7:45 a.m. 508-822-1106 is the number. 508-822-1106 is the number to call if you want to call in and talk about whatever is on your mind this morning. I want to mention a couple of stories here out of the Mascot Week. First, in Lakeville, calling all photographers. The town of Lakeville is seeking pictures showing off Lakeville's natural beauty and historic features. I could already tell you some of the things off the top for Lakeville. We got some really good bodies of water in Lakeville, and drive down the roads in Lakeville and see that body of water. And it's really nice.
They don't call Lakeville for nothing.
Yeah, it's really nice. Same thing for Halifax too. They got some really nice bodies of water in Halifax, and you can drive down and see that. It's really nice. Anyway, back to Lakeville. The photos will be incorporated into the new town website with credit given to the photographer. All are welcome to participate. To submit photos, send it to communications@lakevillema.org, noting who should be credited and the picture's location. Photos showing a wide range of seasons, settings, and time periods are encouraged. The town will accept submissions up until Friday, this upcoming Friday, the 20th of February. Yeah, this upcoming Friday. Yes. So there you go. Also, we want to shout out Matt Cam. Here, there's a story in the Mascot Week. The Middleboro Lakeville Rotary Club as well. We want to shout them out. They recently donated a state-of-the-art drone to Middleboro Community Cable Access Media. Boy, that's exciting. There's a lot of videos out there on YouTube where just individual people using drones. And the drone footage that you're able to capture with a drone is amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's like it belongs in a movie kind of thing. Don, you've seen it. There are several examples out there online of people who shoot video with drones, and it just looks so beautiful.
Danny Harmon does
Yes.
on his.
Danny does as
Yeah,
well.
Danny does, and he's getting good at it. I was talking to him. He said, took a little trial and error, and I think he's on his second drone. But I mean, the footage he gets, as far as taking, filming the trains and whatnot, putting it together with his presentation is just really remarkable, in my opinion. There's a lot of rules, though. You got to brush up on your rules. You can't fly over
Exactly.
airports. There's a lot. You can get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
The feds can be knocking on your door if you do something wrong.
Exactly.
You can't go out. I'm not sure if you can go into schools or not. There's a whole list of rules you need to brush up on. So
That's the thing with drones. Exactly.
Do
There
your
are
homework.
rules.
do your homework.
Do your homework before you buy a
Your
drone.
little hobby's going to end up costing you a lot of money and fines.
Exactly. So the director of media technology, Karen Foy, noted that this addition to MacCam's arsenal marks a significant upgrade in how Middleboro stories are told. The donation will provide MacCam with a tool to capture aerial cinematography for their community media. I think it adds to the material that can be shown as well. I think having a drone out there adds to the local material that could be shown, and really kind of adds to that to the sights and the scenes of Middleborough. I think this is a positive thing. Absolutely a positive thing. Again, though, a lot of rules with drones. So that's also something that could be a downside. But again, this is an exciting thing. Residents can look forward to the bird's eye views of signature local events like the annual parades, as well as the dynamic community reels that showcase Middleboro's local businesses and also the scenic landmarks of Middleborough as well, which there are many scenic landmarks in Middleborough. Many. And that will help a lot. The drones will help a lot with the Herring Run Festival, which they just announced this week. It will take place in April. I believe it's going to be one of the days, April 11th, and I don't remember the net. I think it's either the 10th or the 12th. But one of the days is April 11th, 2026. So they've announced the Herring Run Festival as well. So that's going to help. Having a drone out there for that event, boy, that's going to be great. So that's exciting. I wanted to definitely talk about that because that was something that caught my eye, and I thought that was interesting there as well. Okay.
I got a thought.
Go ahead, Don.
I just looked at something which I thought was pretty cool. Everyone knows Norman Rockwell in
Yes.
Massachusetts. Well, there's a portrait of a little boy sitting next to a state trooper. That's that picture at a diner. And I always wondered where the diner was. I guess the diner's still open. It's in Lee, Massachusetts. It's called Joe's Diner. Okay, and it's still
Nice.
open. But that's where it came from. I mean, that's what actually one of my favorite Norman Rockwell pictures is as a Massachusetts State Police officer sitting next to a little boy at the diner, and it just goes to show like the community getting together. It really. And the Norman Rockwell Museum is in, I believe, Stockbridge or West. I think it's Stockbridge.
It's really close to the Arlo Guthrie.
Center, yeah, the
Center.
cultural center, yeah.
Yeah.
So
not,
I mean,
not far at all.
if you ever want to go out that side and check out, there's a lot of history out there. So as long as what Joe was talking about, the history over here in Middleboro, and I love going to other parts of the state. I mean, I like New Hampshire, Maine, I like New York, but I'm really spending a lot of my time in the state, trying to get to know the state better, learning, being part of the Commonwealth, being part of our own state, which has so many hidden gems that people don't know about. You talk to most people, and they go up to New Hampshire, they go to the White Mountains, they go to Maine, or the Cape, okay? Well, it's Mass, whatever, but not a lot of people go up to the Berkshires and really see. You get west of Greenfield, and I can't find one strip mall or one billboard. It's totally different. I mean, really west of the Connecticut River. And I remember that back in the 90s, and I'm not sure if it was like a little position that they wanted to break away from the state and call the state Berkshire, the state of Berkshire.
Yeah, I was hearing about that. Yeah.
And Pittsfield was going to be the state capital. It still would have been bigger than Rhode Island, I think.
Yeah, and there's a lot of history with the Berkshires as well. I mean, we talked about before the Quabbin Reservoir and the history of that.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of history.
And you can fish in the Quabbin Reservoir, believe it or not. There's three separated sections you can go. You can bring your boat, but you have to have it cleaned at a certified state cleaning facility. They use, I don't know. They sign off on it, or they have boats you can rent, and they got a little 10-horse. All right, you have to fish. You can't just go for a boat ride. You have to have a fishing permit. You have to have gear. And I was talking to one of the caretakers who run one of the boathouses, and there's three separate ones. There's one on the east side, northeast side, and I think it's two on the northwest side and southwest side. And you can't get, like, these are all cordoned off areas, but they're big. I mean, you can't go across the whole thing. So those three areas that fishing they're all cordoned off. I mean, you can't get there from there. No pun intended there. But he said to me, you have to bring fishing gear, you have to bring a fishing rod, you have to have a fishing license. But we're not going to make you fish. You don't have to fish. But that's the stipulation. You have to. They left it open for fishing. So anybody wants to go fishing in the Quabbin Reservoirs, look into it. The three segregated areas are huge.
Yes,
they're huge.
And also for rail fans out there, Massachusetts is a treasure trove of amazing rail stuff here. So Massachusetts is just an amazing.
Well, when Danny comes up, and we're gonna show him some areas. Palmer, Massachusetts.
Palmer, yeah.
There's
Palmer.
a restaurant there that people hang out there. That's on the main Boston Albany line, and
even Boston has some nice spots with rail. So. Yeah, I mean, you go to Boston, you get some nice rail fan stuff too.
And also Chester, Mass.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first
Chester.
Okay,
Yep.
That railroad is the world's first mountain railroad in the world. 1845. People from Switzerland and countries that have mountains went there to study it, to find out what it was all about. Mm-hmm. Chester had a roundhouse, and they had the helper engines to bring it up the hill. So we talked to the caretaker for the Chester Historical Society Railroad station there,
Mhm.
and he told us all about that. And yeah, Massachusetts is the first mounted railroad in the world in 1845. So I mean that we have so much history here. These lines are so old. They're the first.
Yes.
Uh,
So yeah, got a couple minutes here. A couple minutes, and we're gonna switch gears to our sports. We don't have time for transportation
we kind
today.
of talked about transportation.
Well, we kind of did.
Yeah.
We had it. But the rail part of transportation, we'll probably have some stories tomorrow on Middleboro Matters. If you tune in there, that's at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning.
And you are
I'm
doing the news.
Morning wake up news tomorrow as well.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Let's switch gears to our sports. The Daytona 500 is today, 1:30 p.m. this afternoon. It was going to be at 2:30 p.m. this afternoon. They pushed it back an hour because apparently there's some rain coming to Daytona tonight. So they want to get the race done and make sure they get the race in. So the race will be tonight. Be today at 1:30. So Kyle Busch is on the pole for the race. He will start first. Kyle Busch. Here's an interesting stat for everybody. Kyle Busch has raced in 20 Daytona 500s. Today's race will be his 21st. He is 0 for 20 in the Daytona 500. 0 for 20. Will today be his lucky day? No, it won't be. No, it won't be. If this was, 2015, 2016, and Kyle Busch was at his peak, I would say yes. Kyle Busch is now driving in equipment that is not amazing. He is 40 years old. His peak, I think, he is past his peak, in my opinion, as a NASCAR driver. That some NASCAR drivers know when to leave. Matt Crafton left because he knew he was no longer at his peak. I think we're getting to that point with Kyle Busch. Yeah, no, he will not win the Daytona 500 today. I will be very surprised if he does. If he does, great. He breaks that 0-20 streak, and I eat my words. But I believe Kyle Busch will not win the Daytona 500. So that's just my opinion. Craftsman Truck Series with the Daytona Raceway there. Chandler Smith with a huge win. Actually, it was 4 wide at the checker there for that race, and Chandler Smith was able to get the win there. Gio Ruggiero finished second in this race, in the Craftsman Truck Series race. And then the next day, he went and raced ARCA, and he won. Gio Ruggiero won, so he was in the Craftsman Truck Series race. He finished second. He won the ARCA race. I don't know if he was in the Xfinity race. I don't think he was. He might be in the Daytona 500. I'm not sure. I think they said he was racing in 3 races. Gio Ruggiero there, but he won in the ARCA. In the Xfinity, actually, it's not called the Xfinity anymore. I apologize. It's called the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. They changed the name for this year. Austin Hill wins, because of course he does. He wins multiple races every year. He's like the Kyle Busch of the Xfinity Series. Kyle Busch goes to the Truck Series every year and wins like 1 or 2 races every year. Austin Hill, this is his 4th, I believe, Daytona win. It's hard to win 4 Daytona races. It really is. It's really difficult. Daytona is not an easy race course. 4 wins? Austin Hill's very, very good. So good for him with that win. He's not in the playoffs. We do not have a playoff this year. It is a chase this year. It's a little bit different structure for the final 10 races of the year. The points reset the final 10 races of the year, and any of the people who get into that chase have a chance to win. So that is a big change there for NASCAR. And finally, did I talk about? I talked about all of them. Yeah, the Daytona 500 is at 1:30 this afternoon. Again, Kyle Busch will start on the pole. I don't think he will win. I think, honestly, I think Denny Hamlin will win the race today, but we'll see what happens there. All right, it is 8:02. I want to thank everyone for being here, listening to the show today, and I'll be back tomorrow for another edition of Middleboro Matters. Bye-bye.
Right back, John.
Okie doke.
We are AM 1530, WBBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and
Okay,
W259
I'm only gonna do
Center,
3 minutes.
your hometown radio
3
station.
minutes. Yeah. Just about 4 minutes.
Breaking news this
I'm gonna
hour
do 4
from
minutes.
townhall.com.
On the news. Okay.
Republican Senator Susan Collins is officially running for re-election in Maine.
Bye, everybody.
Correspondent Greg Cluxton.
The 73-year-old Collins is seeking a